Today, I just want to tell you a little bit about where I live. I live on a little estate called Barnbarton, which is part of St Budo in Plymouth. As you can see, it's ringed in red. We are a little island. There is only one way in and out of our estate. We have been done to instead of being done with for, well, forever. As far, I've lived on this estate for 45 years. We ended up with a giant incinerator plonked right next door to all the housing stock in our estate. That is the incinerator, and that is some of the housing stock, and you can see just how close it is. We do have a bus service. Hang on, Hazel. We do have a bus service, but we have no local doctor's surgery, chemist. All we have is a few corner shops on the estate. The nearest doctor's surgery is a 30 to 40 minute walk or two buses in the journey. This is our local shopping centre in St Budo. We have a couple of that's it, thank you, Hazel. We have a couple of supermarkets. We have a Lidl's and a Co-op, but almost every other shop is takeaway. I volunteer at a local community centre directly opposite the shopping centre. And what we have done is we found the obesity rates in our area are astronomical. So we've set up what we call the Square Club. It's mainly a seniors club, but apart from one Wednesday a month, it's open to all at all times. And we do not cook any processed food. Everything we cook is cooked from fresh, from local ingredients. We don't buy any frozen. We don't buy any excuse me, brains got tongue tied. We don't buy any processed, any takeaways. It's all fresh produce cooked from fresh and served at a modest cost to the area. We what's the next one, Hazel? Oh, that's it. That is some of our residents actually having, well, just before their Christmas dinner is served a few years ago. Sadly, we can't do that this year because we have had to close due to COVID. We have not been able to reopen properly since March because our remit is elderly and vulnerable. So the local councils are not allowing us to open.
There's a little figure in the right-hand corner of your picture. I don't know if you can see it. Karen, will tell you.
The little figure in the right-hand corner, in the little black jacket there, sitting next door to the large gentleman. That's actually my other half.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about me dancing down the other end.
I'm getting there in a minute, but the next picture, yeah, there's a little figure in the right-hand corner. That's actually Hazel. She came along to our Christmas Day gathering, Christmas gathering that year as well, didn't you, Hazel?
Absolutely, and it was a deeply joyous occasion.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a great shame that we've had to close it down because a lot of our residents that are members are very lonely. They've lost their partners, their children live away. The only contact they have in a lot of cases is with us. And at the moment, they're not allowed to come in. But I mean, Barnbarton has been, as you could see from all the little bits there, that we have one of the highest rates of universal crescent claimants. I mean, Plymouth in general, but Barton is classed as one of the highest levels of deprivation. I hate that word. I really detest that word. In the whole of Plymouth, because the other areas that did have the handle as well have been regenerated. They are starting to regenerate in Barton, but it's in infancy. They've just started knocking down a lot of the housing stock, but not all of it is being regenerated. Only certain housing associations, because they're on the Barton estate. There are around 8 housing providers on the area, but the residents, most of the residents do have very limited incomes. We actually have on just on the Barton estate, we have 2 food banks. That is how.
Karen, is it all right if I come in here? Karen,
yourself.
Well, yeah, the next slide is, I think, is possibly going to be quite a shock to you. And Karen is very bravely happy to share this with you.
This is myself and my husband's actual income every month and our outgoings every month. And that amount at the bottom is what we are left with per person per week to live on. Every single penny we have is that amount at the very bottom. That is for food, for essentials, for everything, apart from our regular bills. That's all we have.
And I'm just going to move on in a minute, Karen, just to show if you're okay with this, because you were telling me there are people far worse off than you.
Oh yes, that we are actually one of the slightly better off people on this estate. There are people that are a lot worse off than we are, actually living in this area.
Now I'm going to move on because Karen is actually a research partner. Now this is about so-called ordinary people becoming extraordinary. Karen we've known each other for a long time, and I just want you to give everybody a sense. So I told you a bit about Beacon, and it's gone all over the country, and we've had the most amazing outcomes. In Exeter University, there's a whole research centre that's based on C2 and the C2 principles, and it's called the Wellcome Centre for Environments of Culture and Human Health. And I'd like to think we're changing the way research is done. There's a work stream there that Karen's been part of, and it's the engaged research. So, gosh, I don't know, Karen, do you want to say what it's like? But this was the first one that we did, and it's understanding and dealing with poverty-related mental distress. And gosh, we've had to, it's new relationships again, guys, I'm telling, sort of tried to hint at the power of this. So this is between academia and the real frontline communities, and Karen was one of those. But in there, there's about 10 members of different C2 communities. Karen, yeah,
because gotta be.
What did it feel like doing that piece of research? It was a stunning piece of research, and if you get a chance, do look it up and see the outcomes. Because, yeah, sorry, I'm talking too much. Carry on, Karen.
I'm used to you, Hazel. It was. It's not the first piece of research I have been involved with, but it's the biggest. It's the biggest, and the outcomes. I mean, yeah, as Hazel said, look it up. It is absolutely amazing, the outcomes that have come from this. Oh God! But get rid of that.
No, it's wonderful.
But it was very challenging to begin with. Trying to get ourselves, the community, we call ourselves community partners. And it was very challenging trying to get ourselves on the same footing as academia. To start with, it was them and us.
Painful.
It was very painful. But as the project went on, you know, it did level itself out, and hopefully we've helped to change the way academia works with community partners and communities in general. But
extraordinary. I'm just going to come. This is Karen doing a presentation at the Mighty Wellcome Institute in London, opposite the Royal College of Physicians, to the great and good. She just come on after Paul Farmer from Mind, and she blew the place away. So
if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe. And we will keep you posted as the story of Cornwall and community wellbeing unfolds into the future.